Hey, welcome back. My name is Matthew. We've got some exciting news today. Knights of the Frozen Throne, a new Hearthstone expansion. I couldn't be more excited about it. We've got a sweet new card back. Unfortunately, you can only get this card back if you pre-order Knights of the Frozen Throne card packs, which you can do right away if you want to, but I'm not big on that. I'd rather wait. Alright, let's get into the cards. We've got 5 cards revealed today. The first one, Prince Keleseth, 2 mana 2/2, Battlecry. If your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. First of all, the no 2-cost cards requirement is very similar to Reno Jackson. So you just have to, if you have other 2-drops in your deck, you have to have drawn them before Prince Keleseth can be played. That's a pretty big downside. You wouldn't want to play any 2-cost cards with this guy, because his Battlecry only gives you value over the course of a long game. Give all minions in your deck +1/+1. Unfortunately, that does not buff the cards in your hand, only the ones in your deck, which means that you don't get any immediate value from him. You have to top deck into these buffed minions. He's a very slow card, and he prevents you from having 2-cost cards. Being slow means he's better in control-type decks that want to draw through their deck and win via value. However, 2-cost cards, there's a lot of 2-mana cards that you need in control archetypes, so whether or not he sees any play, we'll see. I think he's a really cool card, and at 2 mana, he's an early game legendary, so I'm sure we'll see some people play around with him. I don't think he'll be too powerful, but we'll have to wait and see. The next card is, of course, 2 mana, and it goes into a control deck. That's Spirit Lash. We see a new mechanic being introduced here, Lifesteal. So Spirit Lash, Lifesteal, deal 1 damage to all minions. Lifesteal restores health to your hero for every damage dealt. So suppose that your enemy has a full board, 7 minions. You play this, he'll deal 1 damage to each of them and heal you for 7, assuming you had no minions yourself. At first glance, this card doesn't seem that good. However, you have to remember that this is a spell, and it deals 1 damage, true, but spell power exists in the game, and every point of spell power on this card is going to massively increase its value. Lifesteal is a very interesting mechanic because it scales extraordinarily quickly. So a Lifesteal healing you for 1, 2, or 3, it's not that powerful, but a Lifesteal healing you for 6, 8, 10, that starts to become extremely problematic for an opponent who's trying to kill you. I think that Spirit Lash will absolutely see play. We'll have to wait and see which priest archetypes exist after the expansion, but I expect that this card will be a staple in any control style deck. And the third card we have is the Shallow Grave Digger. Now, I don't like the name of this card. I feel like the space should go between grave and digger, you know. Shallow Grave Digger, but that's semantics, it's not important. At 3 mana, this 3/1 minion has Death Rattle, add a random Death Rattle minion to your hand. This is a very weak card, and it has a random effect, so I'm not sure that it'll see much play. It could be played perhaps in a Priest Quest deck, where you really need more Death Rattles, but I'm not sure that you'd ever play a weak Death Rattle. I'm sure we'll see much stronger Death Rattles come out when they release more cards. So I'm not a fan of this card. It's alright, but I don't think you'll see any constructed play. And the next card, we have the Chillblade Champion. Alright, this one is a Paladin card. 4 mana, 3/2 charge. We actually get a charge minion. And Lifesteal, again, the new mechanic. Charge and Lifesteal in a combination, very, very strong. It's essentially a battle cry that heals you. This minion being 4 mana for a 3/2 body is pretty weak. So you're not going to be playing this guy on his own. You'll be playing him with buffs, perhaps with hand buffs, or perhaps with Prince Keliseth. When this guy gets buffed up, he becomes quite powerful, at least in terms of heal and removal. If you're using him to go face, perhaps that helps you in a fatigue battle, or perhaps it helps you in the late game versus a aggro deck. But in the control matchup, you probably want to be using this guy to get more value than just healing. I think it's going to be difficult to make this card see play. There will have to be a few more buff cards that are worthwhile, because you can't really play this with Spike Ridge Steed. Waiting till turn 10 is far too late for a heal effect. Very interesting. I think there's a lot of potential for this card, but we need more cards that combo with it for it to see play. Very cool, though. And finally, we have Deathstalker Rexxar. So, last expansion, they introduced the legendary quest cards. This expansion, they're introducing the legendary hero cards. So hero cards are a brand new type of card. So quests were a spell. The game also has minions and weapons. Hero cards are brand new, although they have a similar function to other cards in the game. So Jiraxxus, for example, replaces your hero with Jiraxxus. These cards are going to be very similar. There will be one for each hero. When you play them, they replace your hero and replace your hero power. They also give you armor. So these are very strong. A heal, the battle cry effect, a new hero power. Overall, very interesting. The hero power for Deathstalker Rexxar costs 2 mana and allows you to discover 2 beasts, combine them together into one card, and put that card in your hand. Combining them together adds their mana costs together, their health together, their attack together, and any text on the cards get added together. The problem is that you're paying the full cost for both of those cards, and you're adding 2 mana onto it for the hero power. That is a very value late game oriented ability. You will have infinite cards, and they will not be terrible cards, but they will cost a lot of mana. Whether or not Deathstalker Rexxar sees play, it's hard to say. The hero power is certainly going to be worse than Rexxar's current hero power, but his battle cry deal 2 damage, it's a very good board clear, heals you for 5. It might make Control Hunter viable, although I find that hard to believe, since so many of Rexxar's cards are go to the face. So, we'll see. I think that the other hero cards are going to be far more interesting than this one, but this is still exciting. I hope it gets to see a lot of play. It would be nice if Hunter got a bit of a revival. Maybe not back to the face Hunter days, maybe to something new, something better. Alright, and we have a few more bits of news. So more cards will be revealed Monday, July 24th. That's a few weeks away. I hope you guys can wait for it. The expansion is going to release in August, and speculation is it's going to be mid-August. With this expansion, there's going to be free adventure-style content. So similar to the adventures, you'll have bosses to fight. There will be 6 of them. Brode has said that the bosses are going to be harder than the adventure bosses. Not sure exactly how much harder, and there was no indication of whether it would be harder than the legendary boss fights, or just harder than the regular boss fights. Frankly, it would be pretty easy to make them harder than the regular boss fights. Those were quite easy. Completing all of the bosses will get you 3 free packs, and completing the prologue will reward you a free random hero card. So, as far as I understand it, there are going to be 9 hero cards, 1 for each class. Completing the free prologue quest line, I suppose, is going to... I suppose you're going to be defeating a boss for that, but we'll see. We won't know until they show it to us. So you'll get one of those 9 hero cards for free at random. And that's great. That's much better than what they did with the quests. That means that everyone will be starting out with some sort of free legendary card that can be built around in new and interesting ways. So I'm really excited for this. I hope you guys are excited too. A Northrend themed expansion is going to be quite awesome. There's going to be lots of death rattle, lots of blood, guts, and gore, and lots of that's going to be frozen. So I'll see you all next time when more cards get revealed.